Well done on your progress in the LMS so far. We're now going to review how to add a couple of these goals to the recovery care plan. And we're going to start with Wiley's discovery map. So here, Wiley and I discussed those barriers to recovery and unmet service needs in order to determine what the priorities are for right now, what things we're going to focus on, and how to add those as goals into the system. So what steps need to be taken in order to achieve those goals. The first thing that we've identified is the risk-taking barrier. We've decided that we're going to add a health screening goal to Wiley's recovery plan. He had risk-taking pop up, as you can see, for one of his barriers to recovery. And this has been bothering Wiley for some time. He doesn't know how to get tested for HIV, and he doesn't have health insurance. So we're going to go to the plan goals section. And as you learned in a previous video, to open up the goal template, we're just going to double click on health screening. You'll notice it has a start date and a due date at the very top. It's currently set for 30 days, so I'm not going to change that. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Wiley's next assessment isn't due for 45 days. That gives us plenty of time to achieve this before we do the next evaluation, which would be great to show progress. So if we scroll down, you'll notice that we have the milestone of screening. That's what we're going to focus on, just getting screened for right now. You'll see the first action item at the very top is to research local screening locations. As you can see, there's already a community resource attached to this goal, which my program administrator added to this goal template when they onboarded the ARMS system with the program. So they went through and tried to add in any resource that would be useful in achieving these action items so that we don't have to do some of that, researching and looking up and figuring out what resources are available. Now, personally, I'm familiar with this resource. I know it'd be great for Wiley. They will help him with testing, even though he is uninsured. And so I'm going to leave it the way it is. But if you needed to add a different resource, remove this resource, you always can modify this just by hitting the X here to remove this resource, and adding a new resource by clicking on this airplane and going through the process of assigning that to this action item. Now, the next action item that's listed is in brackets. Anytime that you see an action item in brackets, what that means is that this is actually a task for the navigator. There should be some shared responsibility so the client knows this isn't all on them. There are things that they can rely on you to do for them as well. So we're going to schedule a health screen appointment inside of ARMS as a single goal event. So Wiley and I are going to call Palm Beach County Health Department together. We're going to make sure that we have an appointment time scheduled. Everything is all set up, that he knows what to expect. And then we're going to actually add that as a single goal event inside of the system. So I'm going to do that now. So again, we've left this one as SGE, which is a single goal event. I'm going to type in health screening as the action item name. And for the event title, health screening at Palm Beach County Health Department. Now let's say his appointment is set for this Friday and it is scheduled for 10 a.m. and is going to end at 11 a.m. also on Friday. Now I can type in the address. So it is listed here as well. And then we're going to hit save. Now you'll see that this has been added as a single goal event, and it will be listed on Wiley's calendar inside of his client portal as well. The only thing that Wiley needs to do in order for this to be checked off is to actually check into that event from his portal, and it will progress that task forward. Now, the great news is we already have progress made inside of this goal. So we're going to go ahead and check this one as being done before we even add it to the recovery plan, which is great. The next action item will be to follow the provider's instructions. So that sounds fun. We're going to leave that the way it is. Follow up on any results. So if we don't get the results immediately, we know that we can leave this one as a follow-up. Each of these action items will have a start date and a due date as well. We can modify any of those dates simply by clicking on the edit button here and then changing the dates inside of the actual action item by selecting the calendar and then choosing the date that you'd like to set it for. I'm going to leave those the way they are. So this will be Wiley's health screening goal. And we're going to go back to plan goals now To actually add it to Wiley's recovery plan, now that we've modified it, we're just going to select this checkbox right here. And that's done. That is now added to Wiley's recovery plan. In the next video, we'll walk you through another goal template and how to add that one to Wiley's recovery plan.